This is a quick, spoiler-free guide with everything you need to know on how to raid with friends in the new Dynamax adventures, including information about how to shiny hunt the legends in these adventures. I will not spoil anything about the experience of the adventure itself, just elucidate on how it all works mechanically for people who want to know what they're doing, but still have a novel experience. First, you must make sure you own the DLC for your version of the game, Sword or Shield. You must own the DLC in order to participate in these adventures. If you want to play online with friends, you must also have a subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. To play local multiplayer offline, all participating players must have a separate Switch and copy of the game. There are also NPCs to fill the slots if they are not filled with human players, allowing for completely solo play as well, just like the normal style of raid. They kinda suck though, like always, so it's best to play with as many other humans as you can get. Once you know you have the DLC, go to Wedgehurst Station. Make sure you've caught the Slowpoke here. Then, the guy standing to the right of the fair gate will let you go to the Crown Tundra. You must progress the Crown Tundra story a teeny tiny bit in order to do the Dynamax adventures. It should only take a few minutes for most people starting the DLC to be able to get into these raids. This is how to get to the Dynamax Adventure Cave from the entrance of the Tundra. All players must be in this cave at the same time in order to raid together. Once here, make sure everyone is online in their Wycom if you're playing online. Talk to this NPC, and choose what legendary you would like to go after. You can save up to 3 legendary Pokemon's locations at a time. If you're trying to join a raid a friend has saved, you should choose Anything is Fine, or just press B. A save is forced here. If you want to use a code, everybody press the plus button on this screen. If one person in your group has chosen a specific target, they should be the host of the raid. They can establish themselves as the host by just being the first person to click Invite Others after everybody's entered the code, if applicable. Click Invite Others when you're ready to lobby up. A timer will count down for 3 minutes, so make sure everyone's ready to hit Invite Others at around the same time. If you lock in here, you won't be able to back out without penalty. Soft resetting or disconnecting if playing online, in between locking in here and the save that happens at the end of your adventure, will result in an admonishment from the NPC at first, and eventually a penalty of Dynite Ore if you do it too many times. Catch rates for everything in Dynamax Adventures, including the legendary Pokemon, are 100%, no matter the ball. At the end of every adventure, whether it ends with you beating the legendary, wiping out, or having a connection issue, you will get presented with what you've caught so far in that adventure, and you must choose only one or none of those Pokemon to keep. The balls get used up permanently even if you don't keep the Pokemon, though. You can only keep each legendary Pokemon once per save file, so if you want to shiny hunt a legendary, do not keep it at the end of the adventure if you want another attempt at catching it. A save is forced immediately after you pick which Pokemon to keep. If you don't keep the legendary, you are then immediately given the opportunity to save its location so you can encounter it again. If you forget a location, you can find it again randomly. If you keep a legendary at the end of an adventure, even if you release it later, you can potentially find it again and fight it again, but you will not be given an option to catch it again ever on that save. All Pokemon available in Dynamax Adventures can potentially be shiny, including the legendaries. Pokemon do not show up shiny in battles for anyone, even if you're using in the adventure a Pokemon you caught that ends up being shiny at the end. Shininess is rolled client-side for each player at the end of their adventure. Base odds are 1 in 300 without the shiny charm, and 1 in 100 with the shiny charm. Because you can potentially catch 4 things per adventure, this makes the odds of getting a shiny per adventure functionally 1 in 75 without the charm, and 1 in 25 with the charm. The pool of rental Pokemon and non-legendary encounterable Pokemon are the same pool, and they have fixed movesets, but random natures, IVs, and abilities, with a chance of having their hidden ability. Check the description in the link for a Cerebi complete list of all these Pokemon. Legendary Pokemon always are standard ability in these raids, and have a wider move pool that's randomized somewhat per battle, rather than having fixed movesets like the rest of the Pokemon in the adventures. At the end of the adventure, all players who caught the same Pokemon will find that their IVs, natures, and abilities all match. The stats are the same for everybody participating in that same raid, but the roll for shininess is independent per player. There are 30 legendary Pokemon that can be caught in both games, and then on top of that, there are 8 more per game that are version exclusive. If you are playing with other people who have the other version of the game from you, you can encounter opposite version exclusives while playing with them, and then save their locations so you can encounter them again. Remember, you can only save up to 3 locations at a time. The version exclusives are, for Sword, you get Ho-Oh, Latios, Groudon, Dialga, Tornadus, Reshiram, Xerneas, and Solgaleo. If you have Shield, you get Lugia, Latias, Kyogre, Palkia, Thundurus, Zekrom, Yveltal, and Lunala. Have fun battling and catching Pokemon, everyone!